Dhee, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Listeners, you might think this is the first time we're chatting, but we've been yapping for the last 20 minutes. I am loving getting to know you a bit better because I do love your music and I think it's so fresh.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations on your new song, Vari Vari.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And you've said that it's about a part of yourself that you might have lost along the way. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Vari, 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 va, vari, 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 va, vari, 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 va.
But at the same time, it's so warm and danceable.
Ah.
Was that a conscious choice?
I think I really like when a song sounds fun, but lyrically it's like you're saying some stuff, you know? Yes, I think it's that. But it's sort of like, it's a very hopeful song anyway, I think. I think it's about kind of rediscovering yourself or your inner child. And by the end of the song, it sort of gets there. So I still think it's a very happy, hopeful song.
Oh, yeah.
But it has a little bit of, longing.
When did you think of the song? Was there a particular moment that kind of inspired it?
The lyrics are written by Vivek Anna. He's like a big brother to me. And when we were discussing about the song, it was mostly emotions. It was mostly like, what do you want to say, or what do we feel, or what is needed kind of thing. And this is where we arrived here.
Yeah.
But it was more, I knew I wanted to make a love song and a song with a lot of love in it. And I think, so that's kind of how we arrived here.
And you've shot this in Jaffna?
Oh, no, we shot this in kind of around Sri Lanka.
Okay.
But my other video was shot entirely in Jaffna, but this one was just
all of it is in Sri Lanka, over like different parts.
All over, yeah.
How do you feel about the fact, like, when your music actually physically is transported to the landscape that feels very personal to you? Do you unlock other parts of yourself as an artist?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think for me, I can sort of refer back to Roots, my song. I think when I shot that, it was really, really quite emotional for me to be there. It felt very like, it just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like very magical and almost spiritual to kind of be able to do that. And it didn't feel like it was me there. So it was a very kind of a crazy experience to be shooting that song. And I think I sort of lived my mum's childhood throughout the video without even knowing. And she watched it and she was like, this is what I did at this time. This is what we, so it was kind of crazy to sort of look back on that. And so that was
been a really beautiful moment.
It was really, really crazy. And I think even the girls, like me and the dancers, we also felt very emotional when we were at the Dutch fort shooting one of the scenes. And I think I was just crying the whole time. I was just like, I couldn't. And I didn't expect, I was like, Director Amit, he was like, I think you need to be a little bit more, this is more of the intense part of the song, so you need to be a bit more intense, whatever. I was like, let's see. And then I just started crying. So I don't think I even had to, I couldn't even, like, it just came out of nowhere. So I don't know. I think there's just energy there that kind of makes you feel that way. But yeah, I think it wasn't just me, it was the dancers too. We all felt very emotional. So yeah, that was kind of crazy.
What do you think that was?
I don't know. I think it's just, we were singing about generational trauma. So
oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, it's probably that. But yeah. But yeah, it was very beautiful, but also very intense. Yeah.
I also really enjoy the visuals of all your songs.
Thank you.
I mean, Where My Roots Like a Medal was really beautiful and whimsical. And then I watched Vari Vari, and there's also your fashion. There's a lot of checks and skirts happening. And in the previous videos, you do. Ribbons in your hair. Did you always have a particular idea that that's how you wanted your videos to look, or how you wanted to look in your videos?
I think when I write or create a song, there's always visuals that play in your in my head at least. And I think outfits, colors, all of these things kind of come into play. So yeah, I think there's always like, I know I want to shoot it here in this landscape, in this story. I want to say this, and also I love fashion. I love
yes, you look great.
Oh, thank you so much. But I love fashion, and I think you can tell a story through fashion really well. So that kind of also plays a huge role in music for me personally.
You have to go to the Met next year. Has to happen.
All right, I'd love to.
You heard it here first. Talk to me about, you've done some really big Bollywood and Tamil cinema and like, India in general, like big song numbers. And then you're looking inward with a lot of independent music lately. Was that shift something that you had been sitting with for a while, or has that happened gradually and you kind of want to move towards making your own voice, your own music, and who Dhee is singularly, not just part of a big, production?
I think I've always just wanted to make music and be a songwriter. So that's always been part of me, I guess. And I think with like playback singing, it was just something that I find very freeing because I don't need to overthink. I'm surrendering to a script or to a director or to a composer, and I can sort of like tap into different parts of my vocals or parts of myself. Whereas I think when you write and when you compose, sometimes you put a lot of like, you can overthink,
Yeah.
So I think, I think maybe it's just taken me so long to really just get better at not overthinking, you know? So I think, but it's always been something that I've wanted to do. So I think it's just, I don't think it's something that came suddenly or over time. I think it's always been the thing, but it's just, I guess I had to become more brave to do it.
Because, we also have opposite trajectories. Like you were born and raised here and then you went back to the subcontinent. I was born and raised in India and came to Australia. And sometimes when I talk to the diaspora here, identity or representation means a big deal to them.
Yeah.
And when they look at you or other people representing them, they feel like personally seen.
Yeah.
So when you're working in the subcontinent, are you aware of your identity as a Tamil Australian and a lot of Tamil Australians sort of looking at you and feeling proud? Does that ever occur to you?
Oh, no, that's really, I think it's really beautiful if I can make someone feel that way. Because for me, when growing up, I think we had MIA, and she made me feel that way. Yeah. So I think if I could be that for someone, that's amazing. But I also try not to take that as a pressure, like not feel that weight of that, I guess, because I really think I should represent myself as honestly as possible, and hopefully that will leave room for other people to do the same. So I try not to feel like, I need to represent my culture. I need to represent this. I think I should just represent myself as honestly as possible, and hopefully that's enough.
I like that because honestly, it's also tricky.
It is.
Because identity politics can be kind of flipped on you.
Yeah.
If you don't do the things that you're expected to, and you can lose track of.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought I was my own person, and I don't know how I became like a community voice and a community leader. So, I understand that there's like a lot of different parts to it. Let's talk about your craft a little bit more. This is something that I ask every songwriter because I'm just like, how are you guys doing this? Do you think of what you're going to write next, or do you kind of surrender to what's happening in your life and jot down as you go?
It's that.
The latter?
Yeah, really. Because I think you're constantly thinking about it. I think I'm constantly in the space of like just absorbing information.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of things to be inspired by around me. There's like, if I go out in India, you can never be bored.
No.
You can never be bored. There's so many stories. There's so many people that you can meet and learn from. So I think I do feel like I'm constantly inspired, touch wood. I think there's so much to kind of absorb. So I think I am constantly absorbing. So I think it comes from there. And yeah, I think some days I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to really talk about. And when I feel that way, it probably means that I need to just kind of get out and just live my life. It's like a sponge, right? Like you can get dried up and then you just have to chuck it in the water. So that's kind of how I see this brain.
Yeah. There's so much competition back home though.
I've never really seen the competitive side. I think I just kind of just
did your own thing.
Do my own thing. And then when I see other people do amazing things, I'm inspired by it and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And there's something you can learn from that. But I don't think I think it's just, it's probably like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever felt like,
I love that. And it's also like something new that I've not really heard of. But yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably like a bit of a privilege to be able to feel that way and not feel competitive, I guess. But yeah, I think I've never felt that way. I think when I do see someone doing really well, I think I'm like, oh, that's so inspiring. Let me that's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've never really felt competitive.
I love that for you.
Oh, yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Because I go back home and all my friends are like, oh my God, I'm fighting this little politics at work, or I have to do this with this person, or there's always just
there's always that. There's always that for sure.
Yeah, there's an undercurrent, or by hook or by crook, because there's so many of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are creative back home, and the industries are, they're filled to the brim. Look at the film industry or music industry.
100%.
So I often wonder.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough.
So how do we distinctive, right?
Yeah, it's really tough. I think it's just sort of, you have to find your bubble to silence that noise. And I think sometimes I do find that bubble. So it can be good. It can sometimes you do need to step out of the bubble. But if it helps you feel happy, and if it helps you feel at peace, then it's not a bad idea, I think.
Let's talk about the internet a little bit.
Yes.
Because, you're one of the contemporary singers, and a lot of our lives is on the internet. You put your art out on the internet quite regularly, and you share updates with people. Do you treat that as just another tool to reach people, or has the internet ever sort of gotten to you?
It's when I was younger, for sure. I think I would read something and I'd feel very oh, they feel that way. Why do they feel that way? But I think now it's sort of, it doesn't get to me so much because I feel like I know who I am now.
Yeah.
And so I'm aware that, okay, these people don't know me. Yeah. Which is fine, which is totally fine. So, you don't know what they're going through to say what they're saying to you. So I just kind of leave it. It just doesn't get to me. It's sort of something that I observe, but don't let it get to me.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the same with compliments. When people say, "Oh my God, that is so cool. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen." I think you also should not take that in as well. So I think I kind of keep compliments and criticism in the same place. So that way you're unaffected by both.
Yeah, I do ignore criticism, but I take all the...
Yeah. It's really nice.
It's getting to my head. Thank you.
It's given to me, but I think it helps because it's sort of like highs and lows, right? I think when you read that and you're like, oh my God, yes, and then you read this and you're like, oh, so I think if I leave it in the same place, where it's just oh, I'm just happy someone's talking about this, then it doesn't get to me as much,
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I had to do that too. I think when I was younger, I used to be so shocked, by some of the things that people had to say.
yeah.
And I thought, why would you say that about me? Or why would you say that
Yeah.
about what I did? And how can you be so bitter? And then over the years, you're like, I think this is just something I have to accept.
Yeah.
Like if you put out work in the public,
Yeah.
then you kind of have to be open to all sorts of,
Yeah.
feelings.
That's true. But sometimes people can be very mean.
I know.
And when it's like that, I think you just have to kind of be like,
Block and delete.
you just have to be like, oh, you don't know what they're going through, whatever. Like, so like it's not personal. They don't know you. You don't know them. So you just have to kind of leave it
Yeah.
that way, I think. And that
No,
way.
I agree.
Yeah.
So there's criticism, there's compliments, but then there's a middle ground of like feedback and expectations, right?
yeah.
So as an artist, when you know how your work is impacting people, let's say in a constructive way, and they ask you, oh, maybe you should try this or you
Yeah.
could do this. Do you hear that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. For sure. Because I think like there's been a lot of like constructive criticism that I've received. And I've actually like learned a lot from that. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should sing it this way. Maybe this is. So I think I do take in a lot of these things as well. But yeah, I think, and it's always nice because I learn so much from people
Yeah.
when they tell me things. So yeah, sometimes when it's mean, you know it's mean. You know what I mean? We can differentiate the intentions.
Yeah.
But when it's constructive, you can feel it. So, and you know it. So I think I try to take it and kind of, I guess, do better.
Oh, amazing. Well, I was telling a couple of people last week that I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
And no, they're really excited. And and they also, I thought, oh, what would you like to, I guess, know from Dhee? And I think a lot of people wonder if you will ever sort of look at Australia as your, mainstay or main hub that you make music from.
I would
Not
love-
in a, I think
Yeah.
it's a big part of your
It is.
identity.
It absolutely is. I would love to. I think for me, I'm just honestly like, whenever I come back home, I'm like, I don't want to leave. This is like, I just don't want to leave. But I think hopefully soon, I don't know when, but hopefully soon I can make this my hub.
Yeah. What's the Australian music industry like at the moment? Do you think it's still kind of stuck in a time warp, or do you think we're making space for different kind of artists from different backgrounds? Because I've definitely noticed a lot of Indian artists coming and
Yeah.
doing concerts in the last
Yes.
3-4
Yeah.
years. It's been massive, and
Yeah.
it's been a change that I've welcomed with open arms. Like when a
Yeah.
Diljit Dosanjh comes, we are like all
Oh,
really
yes.
ecstatic to see
Yeah.
him, and
Yeah.
he's selling out Australian stadiums. That was huge.
Yeah.
And I moved here 8 years ago, and I have seen that change happen just in a
Mm-hmm.
small amount of time. But when I look at the Australian music industry,
Right.
also it's not my industry, so please, do fill me in. But where do you think we're standing in terms of being a global music industry at the moment?
I think it's getting there. I think because we live so far from the rest of the world, it's still a bit of a challenge. But I think it's honestly, the thing is, most people move out of Australia to kind of, I guess, make it.
Hi, Jacob and Margot.
So I think when we come back, it sort of makes a huge difference as well, because right now it's when artists or when they come back here and then when they cultivate here, I think it makes a huge difference. So I hope that's what I end up doing as well. I would love
Yeah.
to just kind of come back here. But I think we're doing really well. We're sort of, it's kind of gone a long way since like when I was little.
Yeah.
I think it's getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you miss about Australia in general?
Honestly, it's just like it's that feeling of like knowing everything around me.
Fair.
It's really that. It's like it's also like independence because I can just sort of
Oh, yeah,
I
I
know
hear
my
that.
way around here. And so it's that. It's just that feeling like you know your home. You know
Yeah.
you know your way.
Yeah.
Whereas I think I'm in places where I don't know my way and I'm trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
So I think it's that. It's just
And
that
everyone's
feeling.
really like overprotective. Like when I go back home, I'm like, I have grown up here. I can go out on my own.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, you have to tell everyone. So
Yeah.
I do miss
It's like, yeah.
not asking,
You go
not
out
telling.
with yeah. like I feel like you go out with an entourage when you're
Yeah.
back home. Like you don't really go out on your own, or at least for me.
Yeah. No,
it's
me too.
sort of-
I think
yeah.
it's the general consensus. Like you
Yeah.
have to seek a lot of permissions.
Yeah,
And then someone will always go with you.
yeah, it's like a safety thing, I guess.
And
Yeah.
someone will give you their chores to do while you're out.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I was
Yeah.
just going for
Yeah.
myself, but okay, I think I'll go to this shop
Yeah.
and get you your
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that on me.
Yeah. No, it really is like it is like that actually. But yeah, I think it's just feeling familiar. Like everything feels so familiar. So
Yeah.
and that's comforting.
And I know this question is like common and a little boring, but what is coming after Vari
Oh.
Vari? Have you thought of
Yeah.
what kind of palette you want to be coloring in?
Yeah, I have. I want to keep releasing more of my original music.
Love.
So that's one. I'd love to start performing, touring, doing all of that stuff. I've been waiting to do that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of something that I've been looking forward to. Yeah, it's just releasing my album as well. I
Yeah.
think I've been wanting to release it for so long that I'm like, I'm ready. Just go out there.
Is it called jackfruit? Or
It's called
am I-
jackfruit, yeah.
You see? You've done my research.
So thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so just that, and I think just like tour, perform,
Yeah.
just be, I guess, more new music. I think,
Yeah.
because I'm waiting to perform all of these like unreleased songs,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I just want them to be released so I can perform them.
Yeah. And just like, I think seeing your work just in videos and listening to you, I have this feeling that you'll also sort of make your tours and your concerts very you and very personal to you. It's an experience, you don't just buy a ticket and see someone sing and come home. You sort of like, you take a part of the artist
Right.
sort of with you.
Yeah.
And just in the last couple of years, we've gone to the Sydney Opera House just to see South Asian artists. So there'd be 3 or 4 performing in one night. Or Lucky Ali came and performed at the Sydney
wow.
Opera House. And for me, migrants, as a migrant, for us migrants, but also for my second and third gen friends, there is something unlocks when they go to the
Right.
Sydney Opera House.
Yeah.
But they're going to listen to something in language
Yeah.
or a South Asian artist
Yeah.
because
It's
both
like-
parts sort of come together.
Yeah.
There was a Punjabi artist at Sydney Opera House and we were all so loud and so brash. So we were just walking out and everyone was looking at us like, what is happening? This is supposed to be a civilized country.
No, I think it's. I think
was like,
it. No, I think it's really surreal, right? It's also very beautiful because I feel like, I think just seeing us in that
Yeah.
landscape
Yeah.
that we've not seen before is just like the most amazing, beautiful, exciting thing I feel. Right? I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah.
I know. I fully agree. I can't
Yeah.
wait to welcome you in
Oh.
Sydney when you plan your
Yay.
tours and concerts. And I know because, we talk to a lot of South Asians, not just for our show, but just in general. And there's a real hunger for that.
Yeah.
And a real hunger for like independent work and,
Think so as well.
voices that are very original.
Oh.
Yeah. You're doing great, babe.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations on Vari Vari.
Thank you.
Last question.
Yes.
What do you want for listeners to take away from Vari Vari?
Vari Vari?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's just like, honestly, the song is like lyrically, it's like longing and there's a lot of that, but then you're just like dancing,
Yeah.
right?
I love the step. I love the hook step.
Oh,
You're
good.
having a great time doing it as well.
It's so fun.
It's so fun.
It's like,
you got to
it's
teach
with
me
your
after
girls.
this.
You have to do it with your
Yeah.
girls. So I think it's just, for me, there's like sisterhood in that song.
Yeah.
I think you can take away that. There's hope. There's a lot of hope in the song. So I think sisterhood, hope, take all of that.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, it's just kind of, it is a really fun song. So I think when people hear it, I hope they have fun listening to it. So there's that too.
There's that.
Yeah.
Too, yeah. Do you have a favorite verse or a favorite line?
Favorite
on the-
line? I think it's Vari Vari. It's so fun.
yeah.
It's so like, it's just so random. So I love it. I think it's just, and that's the chorus. So I think Vari Vari. But there's lyrically, I think the bridge is, for me, kind of feels very hopeful and emotional to even sing. So yeah, I think I feel like the whole song for me is it's fun, but it's also like very, it also gets me, you know. So yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like an ode to yourself in a way.
Yeah.
Dhee, I've loved speaking to you today.
Same. Thank you so
like,
much.
Big congratulations on your
Thank you.
music. I'm so glad that you're making independent music. I think we need more of this.
Oh.
And it does feel like your work is very liberating, not just for others, but
you.
for you as well. So
Thank you so
I'm really
much.
glad to know that. Thank you so much for coming on SBS Spice.
Thank you for having me.